Can you tell a story about the Dreadnought Shoulders and Miss of Pandaria? I think it's a really funny story. The Dreadnought Shoulders and Miss of Pandaria. Okay, so this was during Miss of Pandaria. And if you guys remember, I had a guild master in Miss of Pandaria that he literally had like a disorder where like his body would trap heat too much and he would literally get heated. And I think that's probably the best metaphor for this person. This guy was so fucking mad. He was mad all the time. And all the time he was mad. All the time he was pissed off. And so anyway, he'd be in a good mood and then like something would set him off and he'd get really, really, really fucking mad. So we've been talking for a number of times. Oh man, dude, the Mississippi fucking auction house is coming up. Oh man, we can get tier 3 again, dude. He's like, oh man, dude, I need to get tier 3. I can't wait to get it. I'm like, yeah, dude, me too. This is gonna be awesome. And everybody's friendly. We're all good. Everything's fine. And we're talking about how much we want to get tier 3 with each other. Everything's going great. And this is towards like maybe the middle of about the middle of Miss of Pandaria, Throne of Thunder, somewhere around there. And this is also at the same time whenever we had invited this girl into the guild that he absolutely fucking hated. But I wouldn't let him kick the girl out of the guild because the reason why he didn't like the girl in the guild is because she kept calling him out for being a bad tank. So she called him he who holds aggro as a meme, right? Because that's the last thing that he was doing. And so anyway, this guy would just get pissed off all the fucking time. And I'm like, you're not gonna kick this girl out of the fucking guild just because she calls you out for being dog shit. So finally, the day comes and the moment arrives that the Dreadnought Shoulders hit the Black Money Action House. Guild chat, all the warriors, all the fucking paladins, all the DKs. Bro, dude, is it today? Is today the day? They're like, dude, today's the day. This is the day. And we're all talking about it. We're like, dude, how much money do you have? How much money do you have? Dude, okay, we should bet and see who's going to get it. And I was like, Asmon, dude, what are you going to do, man? I'm like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't want to get too into it. We'll just, see what happens. I didn't want to go too into it or, over-invest myself into this in a way that would be, just kind of a little bit too much for me, right? So I'm just like, yeah, we'll see what happens. Well, 8 p.m. comes around, and we didn't raid that day. I go over to the area where the auction house is, and it's surrounded by warriors. The warriors everywhere. I get my shoulders this time. This is it. I'm getting my shoulders. All these warriors, and a few DKs too, right? But mostly warriors. A bunch of fucking warriors waiting there to get their fucking Dreadnought Shoulders. Well, anyway, so if you guys remember the way that the Miss of Pandaria auction house worked, it was a bamboo hut. And underneath the hut, if you had a potion that made your character smaller, you could walk underneath the hut. Well, our guild leader waltzes in with his money, his bag of money. Oh boy. Time to get my shoulders. Oh, ho, ho. Right? And everybody else wasn't going to bid on it because he had convinced them not to bid on it. And he didn't really talk to me about it a lot, so I was like, whatever, right? And so he's going to bid on his shoulders. He bids on the shoulders. And from underneath the hut, I'm targeting the vendor, the auctioneer, and clicking on it, and then bidding him up on the shoulders with a mailbox that I had planted from like the engineering mailbox underneath, bidding this guy up. And at the same time, there was this other random level, like, I don't know, like probably like 88 warrior. Actually, probably 90 warrior, but he had like shitty gear, right? Might as well be 88 warrior. And he's sitting around, and the guildmaster thinks that I gave the gold to this level 90 warrior that's in green gear. This random player. He thinks that I gave the gold to him to pay this guy to use my gold to bid him up because he didn't know where I was. But he just knew somehow I was fucking him. And he didn't know how it was happening, but he knew it was happening. So I'm still bidding, and we get down to the short duration. and he's typing in guild chat. He's fucking mad. And I'm like, bro, I'm not bidding. He's like, I see where you are. I see where you are. I can target you. I don't know where you are, but I can target you. I know somehow you're doing it. I'm not doing it, man. I'm just listening. I'm just chilling, man. I'm tired. I don't have the money to pay for this. Meanwhile, I'm fucking bidding it up. I'm bidding it up as much as I can, right? And then finally, at the last fucking second, you know, I'm underneath the fucking hut, just bidding it up, bidding it up, bidding it up. And he's sitting there, fucking trying to go back and forth from the mailbox because he didn't have the engineering toy either. So, in between him going back and forth, I outbid him. Bid fucking closes. Closes. After that, I go and I win the roll. I win the bid. It was 180K I spent on it. I go to my mail. I link them in guild chat. I loot them. I link them in guild chat. I'm like, nice. I'm like, Dreadnought shoulders? Nice. He kicks me out of the guild. He kicks me out of the fucking guild. Because he didn't know, because because I had played him so much. And I told him I was bidding on him from under the hut. Right? And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, dude. And I fucking, but because I think he just didn't expect any of that to happen, right? And he kicks me out of the guild. He reinvites me later on, right? Because like he felt so dumb about it, right? Because he just got completely fucking played. And the best part about the whole thing is the fact that he actually thought that I paid somebody else to bid him up on the fucking shoulders. Like, what kind of a fucking moron does that? Oh yeah, can you bid up my guild master? It goes to show like what kind of a mind this guy had. He thought that I paid somebody else to bid him up. Like, why wouldn't I just do it myself? You know, I think he just thought that it's so he wouldn't know it was me, right, or something like that. But he developed this whole fucking conspiracy theory, and he eventually reinvited me back into the guild. But he was very upset about it. And as far as I know, to this day, he doesn't have the shoulders. Never got them. Never got the shoulders. Should have been more. Should have been more. There it is. Look at his armory. I don't know what his armory is. He eventually, after the guild basically got out of his control because he was really upset, and the guild was having a lot of problems, right? And eventually, this one girl, Mandy. Okay, I'm just gonna say Mandy. This is the girl's name's Mandy, and she immediately, like, she would just always fuck with him, always troll him. Not Fandy. It's not Fandy. But it was Mandy. And she finally, I think this was in like Siege of Orgrimmar fucking, not even progression, like farm. He finally decides, he's like, you know what? I'm tired of this fucking guild. I'm tired of dealing with these people. I'm quitting the fucking guild. And he just finally quits the guild, transfers servers. He says, fuck you guys. I'm going somewhere else. I don't have time for this shit anymore. I'm done. Okay, yeah, metal at Malding Mandy. Well, no, she'd make him so fucking mad. And like, I remember, because like on Tordos, right? On Tordos Heroic. Obviously, like, I mean, like, we're still friends now, right? And like, we're yeah, everything's good. But like back then, so I would always take my headset off whenever I would do Tordos Heroic. Because you'd have to hit like a crystal that would allow you to like get an absorb shield. And like, if you didn't get the absorb shield, you'd take a ton of damage during the whole fight. So are we jumping down? Oh, we're jumping down. Okay. Let's go down inside. Okay, I didn't realize we were going inside. Yeah, let's just run in. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so anyway, so this happens, and I'm just being a dumbass, right? And so I take my headset off. I'm like, all right. Now it's time to parse. And I can hear, right? The mic, right? And this is like her, because I've got the headset down, right? And it's like this. Asmongold shield! Asmongold shield! Shield! Asmongold shield! Asmongold use the shield! Use the shield! Asmongold use the shield! I'm just like, oh, man. Oh, I'm just playing the game. And I wouldn't want to hit the shield. Why would I hit the shield? Because if I hit the shield, that's an auto attack I can't do on the boss. And if I do an auto attack on the boss, I'll lose damage. I never lose damage. Never lose damage. Always kill it right first. Yeah. Go right first. Wait, I don't think we're supposed to go down there first because the boss doesn't spawn. We have to use these items and then we have to spawn the boss. Yeah, I never miss damage. And this is back whenever I was a padding piece of shit. Like, this is all I would do is pad on the boss. Like, I would literally, like, whenever they said, don't attack, guess what I would do? I would attack. And they'd be so mad. I would attack. I would. And they'd be so mad. They'd be like, he's doing it again. And then, you know, because I was one of the officers. I was like the DPS officer. So, like, most people didn't even know what to do. They're like, well, he just... What do you mean? Like what? I mean, because they're talking to their officers, like, nobody knows what to do, like, because you just keep attacking and you won't do the mechanics. I'm like, listen, I would never even join voice chat whenever we would do the raids. I would literally just go in there. I was the worst raider ever. I would go in there. I would play at 100%. I'd pre-pod every boss. I would do my best to try to do, like, you know, I'd never go AFK. I wouldn't do anything. I would go in there. I would do the whole raid. And I remember, like, there would be days whenever my ideal farm night is a farm night where I get at least, you know, a good parse or something like that. And then I don't have to get in Vent or Mumble at that time because I didn't want to get in voice chat. Like, I just they distracted me because I wanted to be completely thinking, you know, I wanted to be thinking only of killing the mobs. Right, that's it. I would just kill the boss, and that's it. I don't care about anything else besides that. Just kill the boss. So, yeah, that's what it was. And, Greenspan, what's your opinion on Prompt Warriors in Classic? I don't know. They're the best class. How about that? It sounds like a warrior main, to be honest. Well, yeah, I was a warrior main. That's right. That's me. Pull this guy here. These guys are jokes anyway. Yeah, it shouldn't even be hard at all. Okay, so we kill all these guys. Wait, is it these guys? I forgot really what we do. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we'll just don't need to do mechanics. You don't need to do mechanics when the boss is dead. That's right. So the way that I would look at it is that I would never really want to do any mechanics or do really anything. I would all I would do is basically just kill the boss. And I was like on all farm content, I was always like the highest DPS like in like the whole guild, right? And like you guys, this is back in Siege of Orgrimmar. So like I made videos about this even. Like I had like tons of videos. And I would have, like, all these guides on, like, what to do. Like, for example, like, we would do General Nazgrim, and we'd have, like, a burn strat where we wouldn't want to, like, have him go to, like, some phase or something like that, like the defensive stance. Oh, yeah, no, defensive stance phase is a really good idea. So, defensive stance. So, General Nazgrim in Siege of Orgrimmar, right? In Siege of Orgrimmar. He would go into, like, a defensive stance, and every single time that you attack him, he would become, he'd do, like, a lot of raid damage, basically. And, or he could do a lot of raid damage. So you were not supposed to attack him. You're supposed to get off him completely. No damage on Nazgrim for the defensive stance phase. Well, I told people, I'm like, that's where I get ahead. That's where I get ahead is the defensive stance phase. Because everybody else isn't attacking the boss. I'm still attacking the boss. And they can't tell me not to attack the boss because I'm not in voice chat. So it's not really my fault that I didn't attack, that I was attacking. Because they didn't tell me not to do it. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I would do back in the day. And let's see, what are some of the other other mechanics? Let's see. Big dick strats. Yeah, how were you not kicked from the guild? I was an officer. Yeah, I was an officer. We probably, no, let's go down here. Go down here. Yeah, I was the officer. And then later on, I was the guild master. So that nobody could do anything about it. Right? This is just like all I would do. Because the way I look at it, it's like, I'm not going to run in here. The only reason I would ever do farm content, like, okay, I only raided for gear. So this happened in Dragon Soul. Whenever I got my last piece of gear that I needed for Dragon Soul, it was like the heroic, I think it was like a ring or something like that off of Hagara or Ultraxian. And I completed my best in slot. I got every piece of gear. Every piece of gear that I had was fucking heroic. I had heroic girth to lack. I had everything heroic. You know what I never did again? Showed up to raid. That was it. That was the last raid I ever went to. There were people by the end of Cataclysm that didn't even know who I was. They're like, so who's this other guy? Like, we see him online all the time. He never comes to raids. Oh, that's Asmon. He's always here if we need him, but you know, he's usually doesn't come to raids. Because I would have, like, all of these different, like, rationalizations and, like, ways that I would convince my guild. Like, I would log on, I would open up somebody's stream, and I would see them forming the group on their stream. And I'd open it up on incognito mode, or I'd open it up on my phone. And that way I would see how many people they had in the group. And as soon as they set the group, I'd log on. I'm like, oh, guys, sorry, I was late. Yo, if you need me, man, hey, I'm here. You're like, oh, it's okay, we just set up group. Okay. Okay, that's fine. All right, yeah. I'll let you guys know if you need me. That's fine. No big deal. Right? And then I'd come back, and then Malkorok. So Trictagon knew this was... He knew my ways. So, fast forward to Siege of Orgrimmar. We've been farming Siege of Orgrimmar for a number of months now. I had full Mythic Warforged gear. Every piece of gear that I had, Warforged, Mythic, everything. Best in slot. Except for the necklace from Malkorok. The necklace from Malkorok drops. Trictagon's like, oh, fuck. Because they knew they had to give it to me. Because it was the only item that I needed. But he also knew this is the last time we're going to be raiding with Asmongold for all of Mists of Pandaria. This is it. And so he says, he's like, well, see you next expansion, Asmon. And I'm like, yep, see you later. And everybody else is like, ha ha ha. Ha ha, that's funny. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, that was the last raid I ever went to. And I would only come for farm runs or like sale runs. And that was it. I didn't do anything else besides that. I would never show up to raid or anything. And I'd be like, yeah, guys, if you need me, I'm here, but I don't want to come. There's no reason for me to come to the raid. I don't want to go raid. So it's not like I was being a piece of shit, you know? Because like if they needed me, I was there. But if they didn't really need me, and then I'd make sure I'd want to tell, you know, like, how much do they really need me here? Do they need me a lot or just a little bit? So I would log on, and this would be like, you know, maybe fucking, you know, like they'd be like, Asmon, we need you. I wait 4.5 minutes. I'd open up the stream again. As soon as I see somebody going to group 5, yo, what up, man? Yo, I'm here. Don't worry about it. I'm good. Wait for him to get summoned inside the instance. Yo, I'm here, boys. Yo, always for the team. Yo, you know I'm here. I'm good, dude. I'm good. And oh no, it's okay, man. We already got somebody. Oh, okay, all right, yo. But you know, I would be there if you need me, man. Don't worry about me, man. I'm always here, always ready. And yeah, it was pretty fucking funny. And so that's what you do. No, not Dragon. I stopped doing that. Because, like, that's the thing is that, like, Dragon, did I ever do that? Did I ever do it whenever you were in the guild? Were you in the guild during Nighthold? I do this all the time. Because, like, I remember, like, it was the worst day of my life, dude. The worst day of my life. No, you good? Yeah, I was like, did I ever do that? I don't think I did. The worst day of my fucking life, dude, is during, fucking, what was that raid? Nighthold. And this was when I was streaming Nighthold at night. I wake up, 7:58. 7:58. Raid starts at 8. I roll over on... So I go on to like our Skype group conversation with the other officers. I'm like, yeah, guys, I'm gonna be a little late. And the worst thing happened. I go and I look at the conversation, and our guildmaster had posted that he was quitting the game. I was like, because now it's like, who's second in command? So I was like, man, you really don't have to quit, man. You really don't, because this is, I had the best fucking, I had it dicked, dude. I had it dicked. I showed up whenever I wanted. I always got loot counseled gear. It didn't fucking matter. It was fucking dicked, dude. Like, it was so good. Like, I never had to show up when I wanted. I was an officer. I could do whatever the fuck I wanted, and everything was perfect. And then now it's like, oh fuck. So now I'm getting promoted, right? I know I'm getting promoted up to officer probably, or up to guild master. And I didn't say anything about it. But then one day he just logged on and promoted me up. And I'm like, well, fuck. I've got to start showing up now. Was not happy about that one at all. But yeah, I had to start showing up to raid all the time. Had to start showing up to raid all the time. And I had to talk to people like all the time, like, because then they'd get mad at me, right? Because like all that people would get mad at me. And then Nerf, that was the old guildmaster, he had to deal with that. So like I say something stupid, I call somebody a trash bag, you know, or I call them a sandbag because they weigh the raid down. And you know, he has to talk them out of, he has to talk them off a cliff. He has to talk them out of leaving the guild, like later on. And I can just say whatever the fuck I want because I'm an officer, right? But now I've got to be the one sitting there dealing with these fucking people, dude. And so I'm sitting there like, City told me he only gives loot to good players whenever he gave it to his alt. And then he wouldn't give me any loot. He brought in his alt again. He's getting all the loot. And then I'm like, and I'm sitting there, it's 2:30 in the morning, and there's a guild intervention going on. There's like 17 people in the voice chat. Like 90% of my raid, yeah, we're fucking mad. And it's like, this is now my problem. Whereas before, I was just a funny guy that showed up to raid. But now I have to now I'm in charge of everything. And it was fucking karma. That's what it was, fucking karma. And I remember, like, whenever I'd have to, if you guys ever watched me back then, whenever I'd have to mute my fucking voice chat for hours, whenever we'd have the guild meetings, I'd be like this. And that would be whenever we'd be talking about the latest person who's angry about something that I don't care about. Okay? It was so fucking bad, man. Just like Olympus 4. Well, it's just like Olympus 4, except for it actually mattered. Because if Olympus 4 has problems, we still have all the other guilds. But this is like my raiding guild. This is like, I am the oldest member of the guild now. I have been in the guild longer than anybody else has. I am now the torchbearer that has to carry this guild forward into the next tiers, into the next expansions, and into the next raid. This is now my duty and my responsibility. And I did it. We did it. But I was pissed. I had such a good deal. I had such a good thing going on, man. It was great. And I had all these other like methods, right? So I would sometimes like pop all CDs on pull, immediately pull aggro and die. Be like, I'll be right back, guys. I'm not even right back. I'm literally just sitting there because I didn't want to hit any buttons, dude. I'm just tired of hitting buttons. I'm like, I already have a good parse to this boss. Like, I don't need to do this one again. Like, I don't give a fuck. Okay, I'm just gonna die. Right? I was the worst raider. Like, every single, like, selfish, lazy, late, loot whore, just everything, think about every guild, every, like, bad player in a guild, every horror story. I was every single one of them. Literally every single one of them. Like, was there anything that I didn't do? Did you ninja loot? No. Because then they don't come back. You never ninja loot from your own guild. And they don't come back. They won't come back and do the raid again with you. But anyway, so let's see. What are some of the other good guild stories? So, basically, a lot of the people in the guild, like so there's this other girl in my guild, right? And her, like, so this girl was siphoning gold out of the guild bank. This is whenever I was the guild master. This is a great story. So this is whenever I actually had to be, you know, I'm now the keeper of the flame, and I have to make sure the guild stays together, right? And I basically, the girl is literally stealing, yeah, Dragon knows who it is. And so she's stealing gold out of the guild bank. And she's sending it, putting it in her own guild bank. And we found out about this happening. And I called her out on it in one of our officer meetings. I was like, so I've been seeing you've been putting some gold, you've been taking gold out of the guild bank regularly. And she's like, oh, well, it's to buy flask and it's to buy these other things that we need for the guild. You wouldn't know that because you never come to raids, Asmongold. You would know, but no, we need this. You'd understand if you came to raid, but you don't come to raid. Because all they wanted me to do, right, is they just wanted me to show up to the raids because it was such a fucking shit show that somebody needed to get them in order. Like, somebody needed to get this shit done because they didn't want to deal with it. And I didn't want to fucking deal with it either. So we're playing hot potato with all the responsibilities of the guild because at this point I was streaming all the time. I didn't want to fuck with this bullshit, right? But anyway, so finally I get it out of her that actually it had nothing to do with her buying consumables or BOEs for the raid members that I just didn't understand. This is a really good one, guys. We were taking gold out of the guild bank because we wanted to make sure that you still cared about the guild. And this was a test for us to make sure and to try to get your attention because we need your help. And you haven't been doing enough for us. And I sat there in this fucking meeting. I thought to myself, I'm like, what the fuck? So anyway, all of these things happened, and obviously, you know, I convinced them to put the gold back in the guild bank, and we get an accounting of all of the gold, and then, you know, this sorts itself out. How much gold did I take? I don't know, like 400 or 500k, something like that. It was a lot, and yeah. Okay, let's see. How much gold? Yeah, like 400 or 500k. I mean, it's not like a lot, but it was like enough for me to get pissed off about it, because I was mad because it's like that's like. You know, because like people are gonna get mad about it, and then it's just like it's another like bit of bullshit that I have to deal with now, and that's really what it comes down to. Now this is a problem that I have to solve in the guild, and I think that's really the main thing that I didn't like about it is that this is now again another one of my problems. You know, it's like they're creating more and more problems for me, and I was not happy about that. Right? It's like I like to be very hands off and just have people act normal, but you know, usually that doesn't really happen. Well, that's the thing, right? Is that, as I said, I had the greatest job ever, dude. And then I took that fucking guild, that guild that was falling apart in the middle of Nighthold, and we fucking killed Gul'dan. We killed Gul'dan. And I had to drag them kicking and screaming to it, but we killed Gul'dan. And it was, holy fuck, man. What a run. What a fucking... Is she still in your guild? No, she's not. I came back to the raid, and she wasn't in the raid anymore. And I don't even remember why she's not in the guild anymore. Honestly, like, she wasn't... So, she would always, like... I don't know if I want to see, like, what class, because then people are going to, like, figure out, like, who it might have been, right? But you need to go light the flame. Well, no, they're lighting the flame because I don't have any inventory space. So I can't do it myself. Please, name is on point right now. I don't remember, honestly. Anyway, like, yeah, it's a druid. Not a druid, but that's the only one I'm going to say. Not a druid. Mandy was a druid, though. Yeah, was it Fandy? It was not Fandy. Where do you have the power to talk all the time? Isn't it exhausting? No, because I'm just sitting here talking about things that have happened to me. It's great. So, yeah, anyway, so I'm sitting here, and this is happening, you know, more and more and more. And finally, let me think if there's any other times that she got really, really mad. Oh, yeah, okay, so basically, whenever I'm recruiting all the new people for the guild, because at the same time, whenever my guild master quit, there were some people that were like, oh, no. Because it's like now... It's like the Guildmaster was like their only line of defense against Asmongold, right? Because even during like Croesus, they were like, Asmongold's not getting on the ads. He's not getting on the ads. And I'd even be on my stream. I'm like, I'm not getting on the ads. I'm not getting on ads. And I go in chat. And I even tell them, like, I am getting on ads. They're like, no, you're not, you motherfucker. We're watching your stream. I'm like, no, they're lying. That's not true at all. They're not doing that. I would never do that. I'll always kill the ads, guys. Never would do that. And eventually, we just killed the boss anyway. But they were really pissed. So then they're like, okay, so now Asmon's the GM. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Okay, so this was Asmongold, literal 500 IQ loot council techniques. Okay. I used to not loot council. I used to always loot council other people gear before myself at the beginning of a tier. That way, whenever we actually got to heroic, because we get to it very quickly, they would already have the upgraded normal mode gear from the same raid. So it would only make sense that I would get the heroic gear because they have the heroic gear and it would be a bigger upgrade for me. Like, I have years of, like, just planning and, like, techniques of how to sway things in my favor, right? Yeah. Did they ever call you out on that? No. They never figured it out. They literally never figured it out. Nobody ever figured it out. I was so smooth with that, man. I was so smooth with that. Yeah, dude. Tilting the slot machine. Well, yeah. I mean, well, the thing is, like, I go into the raid, right? I have one thing I want out of the raid. That's all the loot. That's the only thing I want. All the loot. I want all the loot. Every single piece. Right? If I can put it on, I want it. Right? Like, if it's like maybe one time if I ever have to farm dead mines, I'd use that item. I want it. But I still want it. Still want it. Every time, dude. Like, I'm literally the most toxic raider. And, yeah, the most toxic raider. And like, now, because, like, what sucks is, like, whenever I'm the GM, right, I can't do that shit anymore. Which is, like, that's the worst part about it. Like, that's honestly, like, it's not even kidding. Like, it is the worst part about being a GM is to actually have to be responsible for this stupid-ass shit. And now you're the one that's solving these problems instead of actually causing them. You know what I mean? Like, and now, like, I've got to make sure that everybody gets a fair shot. Everybody, because then now everybody knows my techniques, right? So it's not like I can just do the same thing again. And it's just, it's the way it goes. Well, Guild falls apart before you get to heroic. It won't fall apart. I knew it wouldn't fall apart. Of course, that's not what would happen. But yeah, obviously, our guild was really, really good. I mean, like, it wasn't really, really good. Let's be honest. Like, we were an okay guild, but like, we weren't like a world like 100 guild. We were just like an average, server first, server second guild, And we cleared content, cutting edge easily every single time. Not a big deal. But again, not the greatest guild in the world. Olympus 4 is karmic justice. Yeah, this is the way it goes. And then, yeah, no, trust me. Like, I had karma come back and bite me in the fucking dick, dude. Trust me. I really, really, really did. Like, this whole thing, like, I had to go back and deal with all of these fucking people again. Constantly. I had to deal with people. Do you think they should add heroic raids in classic? No. After your stories, how'd you have people that wanted to play with you? Well, easy. I'd be at the top of the meter. Like, I mean, I was good. That's the thing, is you can be an asshole or you can be good. Or you can be bad. You can't be both. You can either be bad at the game or an asshole. If you're bad at the game and you're an asshole, you're out of the guild. That's the way it goes. And sure you were. Look at my logs from back then. I had numerous rank 1 logs. Like, like back in fucking Siege of Orgrimmar. Actually, I don't think I had really that many rank 1s in Siege. In like Emerald Nightmare. Even like back in Dragon Soul. Like, all of my parses. I had like orange parses on every single fight. Okay? Like, yeah, I was a god, man. I was a fucking god. And that was a long time. It's a long fucking time ago, too. But, yeah, I was the, like, all of the, like, the horror stories and everything, usually those are, like, personally applicable to me. More hair equals better parses. Well, I mean, like, back in Emerald Nightmare and everything, I had pretty good parses, too. Even on, what do you call it? On Nighthold, I had really good parses, too. I got the rank 1 all classes. I got rank 1 all classes on Star Augur. Back in Nighthold. And that was, like, the DPS check fight. The DPS fight, I got rank 1. All classes. So it's not like I was terrible at the game back then at all. I was really good. But, that's also quite a while ago. And now, it's not really the case. I don't really focus as much. Right? Everybody? Yeah. Thought it got taken away because of padding? No. Wait, no it didn't. They didn't take away my log. Shut the fuck up. No, they didn't. Suck on my dick and balls. So the guild would ask, they're like, yeah, basically, like, don't leave us with him, right? Talking about me whenever I was the guild master. Because I was also, like, a huge asshole. Like, back in Dragon Soul, because you'd have, like, the other guild masters and everything, they were very nice with people, right? But if somebody made a mistake, I would make them say that they made the mistake. And I wouldn't do the poll until they said it. And just to make sure that everybody knows that you can't just go around and be a big dumb fucking idiot. You know, I would make them fucking say it. Like, I fucked up. I did it wrong. And it doesn't matter. Like, I would break down any excuse they had. I would figure out, like, the flaws in their logic with, like, what they were saying and, like, messing up with. Everything like that. And I would do this, like, obviously in front of everybody. And, because this is my leading style. You know, I did this all the time. And, you know, now, obviously, I don't do that as much. But I still do it a little bit whenever we do the Mythic Raids. And, anyway, so this is what's happening. And every single time that I would raid lead, somebody would quit the guild. Okay, yeah, we're okay, right? Yeah, everything's fine. So, like, they were really worried. They were really, really worried that, like, oh no, you know, if we get Asmongold as, like, the guild master, that's it. It's over, you know, like, we're not going to be able to be clowns anymore in the guild. And that's, like, what I would do. Like, as soon as I'm the guild master, or I was the raid leader, I would, like, all the people that I would just shut the fuck up during, I would never, like, say anything about, as soon as they'd make a mistake. And wait. So, anyway, this is pretty much what happened. And, this is in my guild, and, you know, I had to deal with all of these people and all of this bullshit all the time, right? And eventually, like, I kind of got burnt out dealing with it, and that's why I stopped raiding, right? I mean, the main reason why I stopped raiding was my stream. Like, if I didn't stream, I'd probably still raid. But, you know, since I have my stream now, I kind of have to focus and, like, make that the priority. But back then, oh, dude, I was going crazy, dude. I was such an asshole. Because there'd be, like, these people in the guild, and you guys know what I'm talking about. There would be these people in the guild, and they would fuck up every time. Every fucking time they'd mess up. They'd mess up. And then you'd probably call them out, and they'd come up with an excuse. And then the raid leader wouldn't want to deal with it, right? Because he's like, okay, yeah, whatever, who gives a shit? So he would never call them out actually on it in, like, any serious way. He'd just be like, you know, yeah, okay, whatever. You know, just try not to do it next time, right? Just to try to be nice. Well, I wasn't a nice guy. I wasn't about being nice. I was about getting the fucking raid done. And it's the moment that we fuck something up, somebody messed it up, I would be like, why'd you mess up? And then I'd be like, why'd you waste our time? Or something like that, right? And immediately, like, I would call them out. I would get them to fucking stop doing that, right? And I used to be a lot worse, right? And like, really, it's just, to me, like, my perspective is that, like, I got called out all the time in, like, my old guild. And I looked at it as, like, we're working together to try to kill the boss and, like, overcome the raid. So whenever I get called out, that's like we're all working towards the same goal. So I'd never get mad for getting called out. Like, I never get mad for being called out. Like, really. And so it's like, I would apologize, say, okay, I did this wrong, and okay, you know, I could have done this better, and I'd do it better next time, right? It was a mistake, right? Because, like, the way I look at it is, like, this is a group effort. Like, you shouldn't feel like you're being attacked because, like, you're holding yourself back just as much as you're holding everybody else back too, right? So it just, like, didn't make sense to me that people got so personal about it. But they did. And so, yeah, that's the way that I always looked at it too.